5. White House pushback in the scandal swirling around Stormy Daniels and President Trump.
And I can say categorically that obviously White House didn't engage in any wrongdoing.
The day after a salacious interview on 60 Minutes.
Did you want to have sex with him?
No, but I didn't say no. I'm not a victim. I'm not.
Tonight, the fresh fallout in the saga of the porn star and the president. And Stormy Daniels facing a $1 million fine for violating a non-disclosure agreement because she broke her silence about her alleged affair with the president.
But that non-disclosure agreement itself could create problems for the president and one of his lawyers. CBS 4's Weijia Jiang joins us live from Washington with the breaking information in the scandal. Weijia.
Lauren, that lawyer is Michael Cohen, who admits to purchasing Stormy Daniels' silence. But after she shared her story anyway, his attorney came out and said she was lying. So in the latest twist, Daniels has filed a defamation lawsuit against Cohen, insisting her version of the story is the truth. The White House is not buying what Stormy Daniels said on 60 Minutes.
The president doesn't believe that any of the claims that Ms. Daniels made last night in the interview are accurate.
The adult film actress claims she had a one-night affair with President Trump in 2006, even though she has denied it in the past.
He's like, wow, you are special. You remind me of my daughter.
Daniels says years later she received a threat to keep the affair a secret.
A guy walked up on me and said to me, leave Trump alone, forget the story. And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, it's a beautiful little girl. It'd be a shame if something happened to her mom.
President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, says he had nothing to do with that, but admits to paying Daniels $130,000 of his own money as part of a non-disclosure agreement just days before the 2016 presidential election, which may be considered a campaign contribution. Cohen says neither the Trump organization nor campaign was involved in paying Daniels. His attorney added President Trump did not reimburse Cohen, but he did call the president a third-party beneficiary.
That's to protect reputation, it's to protect family, and it's to protect business. That's what that payment is for. It has nothing to do with running for president.
President Trump tweeted Monday morning, so much fake news, never been more voluminous or inaccurate. It is unclear whether President Trump was actually talking about Stormy Daniels in that message. Today, the deputy White House press secretary faced a lot of questions about why Cohen would pay her if she was lying. And he said false claims are settled out of court all the time. Rick and Lauren?
So, Weijia, the president, as far as any exposure that he may have legally to any wrongdoing as a result of this, what do we know?
Well, there are potential implications both legally and politically because it's not the alleged affair itself that is in question. It is what was done and who did it to cover it up. And so far, the president has not been directly tied to that $130,000 payment that was made less than 2 weeks before the election, which could be a violation of campaign finance laws. And then politically, it's really up to his supporters whether to believe Stormy Daniels and whether they care.
All right, Weijia Jiang live for us in Washington, D.C. with our top story. Thank you.